Welcome to the Coastal Kitchen. I'm Karen Mashures, and today we're celebrating Cinco de Mayo. It's a lovely holiday that celebrates the Mexican victory at the town of Puebla. The first thing we're going to make is our ice cream. It's a frosted flake ice cream delight. You know how you get fried ice cream in our wonderful Mexican restaurants? This is a variation without being fried. We're going to have spring cilantro avocado chicken soup. We'll have tortillas made from scratch at home, and we'll have guacamole and topping it off with a margarita. So let's get started. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is work on our ice cream, because it has to sit in the refrigerator for a little while after we get part of it done. I'm going to take my frosted flakes, and I've got about 3 cups. Let me grab a Ziploc here, and I'm going to put my frosted flakes right in, because what I want to do, get the air out, is to crush them. I don't want them pulverized, but I do want them crushed, and a great way to do that is with a rolling pin. Okay, that's good. Now, let's put them back in our bowl. I've got some cinnamon, and I'm just going to sprinkle cinnamon right on the top. About a teaspoon. And we're going to mix it up with our fingers. If you like a little more cinnamon, remember, it's always the way you like it. You can put some more cinnamon in it if you care to. Now we're going to take butter, 2 tablespoons of melted butter, and just drizzle it over the top. And we're going to do the same thing. Mix it up. Okay, clean off the fingers. This is not hard to do, but the way that I find works best for me, and not being quite so messy, is I take a piece of saran that I've already cut off my roll, and I'm going to get about a cup of ice cream. Just get a big ice cream scoop and sort of double it up here a little bit. Right on the saran wrap, and I'm just going to get a little bit more. Put it right on the top, and we're going to cover it and squash it down. Roll it up, and now just form it into a ball. Just compact it. And put it in a little container. Let me get my next piece. Nice big scoops. Roll it up. Now form it into a ball. And we're going to put these in the freezer and let them sit for about 15 minutes. I'm going to go get some that I've already gotten into my freezer. Be right back. All right, straight out of the freezer, and we're going to work fast, because you don't want the ice cream to melt on you. Bowl of flakes. New piece of saran. And ice cream. And we're just going to roll this and cover it. Want it to squish in. And now we're going to roll it right back up. Because it's got to go back in the freezer for about an hour. So I'm going to finish these up real quick. Okay, this is my last one. Want it nice and covered. I'm gonna get it into the freezer. As the ice cream softens up a little bit, it accepts the cornflakes just a little bit more. So don't be afraid to put as many on as you want. And in it goes. Wrap it up. Now, these are going to go into the freezer for about an hour, and when we're getting ready to have our little Mexican party, we will show you how to finish them off. All right, what a great way to start May. This is cilantro, avocado, tomato, all the fresh things of spring, and chicken. So let's get started. The first thing I need is 3 cloves of garlic, and I'm going to get the skins off of them real fast. Last one, and we're just going to give them a nice rough chop. Let's just put those aside. I need some onion, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take about half of this onion because it's a rather large onion. And let's just slide this way. And watch out, because I might have some tears in a second. This is a strong, sweet onion. Okay, got that going. Now, my pot needs to be turned on. I'm going to put about a teaspoon, maybe a hair more, in the bottom of my pot. Get that oil warm. And our onion and garlic go right on top of the oil. We're going to let those simmer for just about a minute. This is real easy soup to do. Very, very tasty. I absolutely love it. Okay, now what we got to do is give it a quick stir. Hear that sizzle? We're going to turn it down just a little bit to low now. And let those onions start to sweat. Let that garlic get in there. Now, let's look at our chicken. I have 4 chicken breasts that have been deboned, that have been skinned. And these chicken breasts are going to go right on top of those onions. All right, let's get ready to put this chicken in. Right on top. And now we're going to slowly pour in, about a cup at a time, our chicken broth. And I'm using chicken broth that purchased from the store. I'm using one that is no sodium and one that has the sodium in it, because I don't want this too salty. We'll add a little bit of salt when we taste. Okay, now I'm going to turn my heat back up again because I want to bring this to a full boil. And then we're going to turn it down and let it simmer for about an hour. And another 4 cups. Okay, all in. Let's give it another stir. Okay, we're going to let this boil for about a minute. Turn it down, let it simmer for an hour, and then we'll finish off our soup. Just so you know, this container is 4 cups, so you only need 2 containers of the chicken stock. We're going to have a word from our sponsor, Lowe's Foods, and we'll be back in just a few minutes.
When you start with local produce, add some homegrown Carolina pride, and mix it all with a commitment to family, you get more than a locally based grocery store. You get the taste of home. Lowe's Foods. Lowe's Foods, proud sponsor of the Coastal Kitchen and ATM CTV.
All right, soup has come to a full rolling boil, and now I'm going to add oregano. Goes right in, and we've got about a half a teaspoon of cumin that's going to go right in with it too. I'm going to give it another quick stir. And it's just going to bubble a little bit and keep nice simmer. Okay, chips. I've got about 2 cups of oil in this pot. And what we're going to do is make our homemade tortilla chips. We do have help. I have gotten corn tortillas from the market, and you can use a pizza cutter. Cut in 6ths, just straight down. Let's get some cut up here. This is the one thing that you get to have fresh when you have Mexican food if you do it this way. Absolutely wonderful. Okay, I'm going to get some of these little crumbs and see. All right, came right back up to the top. Let me grab a plate. And I'm going to put my cut chips to go. So I've got them right here. I'm going to put about 6 in at a time, and it's going to take about 15 seconds, and I'm going to turn them real quick. You can see how they're getting nice and golden brown. They'll start to do a little bubble up. And now we're going to take them out. I've got them on some paper towel to drain some of that grease off. And I'm going to take some sea salt, which is just a little bit coarser, a little bit wetter than regular salt. Salt them when they're still hot, and start with our next batch. All right, we're on our last batch. Let's throw these in. And the grease is at about 320. It doesn't take but 30 seconds just about to flash fry them. Make them nice and golden brown. And remember, the more you do, the quicker the oil starts to lose some of its heat. Look how golden brown those are. Gorgeous. Let them drain off. And we're going to turn this off real fast. Little salt. And they're going to be ready to go. Take a look at what I did in a very short amount of time. Great chips. Okay, let those sit right there for a minute, and we're going to come to our guacamole. All right, big bowl. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my tomatoes in the big bowl. I've got my avocado almost ready. And all I'm going to do is just go around the fruit, give it a twist, and you can see seed. If you twist the seed, it comes right out. Let's put that there. Okay, now I have a great little tool that actually takes the avocado right out of the skin. It's a great little thing. But if you don't have that, you can use a spoon and it'll work just as well. Okay, avocado out. And we're just gonna chop it up. And it really doesn't matter how you do it because we're gonna mash in just a minute. I like to give it a little chop before I put it in there to mash. And I want a little more in the chunk division, so I'm going to take my potato masher and mash this up really fine. You can see I'm leaving some chunk, but not a whole lot in this. Okay, now I'm just going to pop my sour cream in. Got about 1/3 of a cup of sour cream. I want it to be nice and creamy. And I'm going to take a serrano pepper. Now serrano peppers are a little bit hotter than a jalapeno. Just cut that baby right in half. And I'm going to scrape the seeds and the white membrane, because that's the hottest part. Get all that out. And I'm using my great old trusty grapefruit spoon because it's serrated on the edges. And get those seeds right off my hands. Okay. I'm just going to take it and cut it in very small, thin matchstick pieces. Alright, nice chop here on all these hot peppers. If you like it hotter, you can use a different style. If you like it not quite as hot, go for a jalapeno. Alright, in and done. Let me rinse that off just a sec. We're going to take garlic. We're going to put 1 clove of garlic in. Let's grab that over that way. This is the way I like it. I like garlic in just about everything. Right in. Now I'm going to take my lime and I'm going to give it a nice squeeze using half of a lime right now, and then I'll taste and see if I want to put a little bit more in. Okay, rinse my hands off. And now we're going to mix all of that up. And now we're going to take that and put this in with our tomatoes and onion. And I've got sort of a medium-large purple onion, and I'm just going to put in probably half a cup to a cup. Depends on what you like and how you like it. So let's stir that up just a bit. Nice fold in there. Now I'm going to take my avocado that I've just chopped and not smashed, and we're going to fold that in. Okay, looking good so far. Now, we've got cilantro, and I'm just going to tear off a bunch here. And I like to twist it up and roll it up sort of like a cigar and start chopping. Okay, ready to go. Just fold that in. This is going to sit in the fridge for about 10 minutes before I serve it because I want everything to really come together. I'm going to finish this up and we're going to have a word from our sponsor and be back to finish our soup and make a great margarita.
The Coastal Kitchen would like to say thank you to our sponsors at Holden Brothers Farm Market in Charlotte for supplying the fresh produce on this week's show. Swing by their indoor market located near mile marker 10 on Highway 17 or check them out online at holdenbrothersfarmmarket.com.
Welcome back. I've been shredding our chicken breasts. I got my chicken breasts out of my stock, and it's easy to shred the chicken. All you have to do, especially when it's warm, is take 2 forks and start pulling it away from the rest of the meat, and shreds right up, and that's what you want. And take that little bit of, throw that away. We've got 4 chicken breasts all shredded, and this is going to go right back into our pot. And everything's been simmering. Be careful when you get it in the pot because the steam is rising. Okay, give it a stir. I'm going to add just a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and that's going to sit for about 5 minutes while I get my avocados and my tomatoes and my cilantro ready to go in. Now I'm going to cover it up. Okay, let's get our cilantro. I've chopped the cilantro. I've got some tomatoes chopped. I've got some avocado that I've already done. I've got one more avocado to do, and we'll get this soup finished. Okay, nice twist. Okay, this one's going to be stubborn. When you get a stubborn avocado, you have to do it a little bit differently. Let's get this out of the skin first. Some avocados are a little bit riper than others, and you have to get the seed out just a hair differently. So I'm just running this tool right around the seed. Okay, all in, all done. Now I'm going to slice this avocado in about 1/2 inch slices because I want it to be substantial in my soup. Okay, let's rinse hands. And it's time to get everything in the pot. Getting the rest of my avocado right there. And in it goes, very gently. Everything nice and fresh. Tomato right on top. Now it's time to add the cilantro. And we've got one last thing to do. That's lime juice to give it that burst of freshness. Okay, I'm squeezing, and I don't care if I get the pulp in there or not because the pulp really adds that little bit of extra flavor. Alrighty. And into the pot it goes. Let's give it a stir. Put the lid on. We're going to let it sit for 10 minutes. Okay, now it's margarita time. I was at an establishment last night in Little River, and my friend the bartender Matt told me that he really likes to make a special margarita. So what I'm going to do is show you his secrets. Okay, I'm going to put the ice in my glass. Let that cool the glass down. Okay, now it's time for this mixing. I've got an ounce of fresh squeezed lime juice. I've got 2 ounces of sweet and sour mix. All right, now 2 ounces of tequila. Tequila of your choice. Right on top. We're going to have an ounce of Cointreau. Cointreau is an orange flavored liqueur. It's a whole lot like triple sec, so we're good. Now we're going to shake up nice and strongly for just a minute. You can tell when it's just about ready because the shaker starts to freeze. All right, let's get this top off. And I'm going to take a splash of Sprite, 7-Up, whichever is your choice. I'm going to put this back on and just give it a swirl. Okay? Top comes off. We dump this ice. I've got some lime that I have cut into wedges here. And I'm going to put a slit right down the center. Come around the edge of the glass, because I want to salt my rim. I think a margarita has to have some salt to make it a real margarita. Now, if you want sugar, can't use salt, hey, make it a sweet treat. All right, put this right in. Garnish with your lime, and it's ready for a taste. Thank you, Matt. This is terrific. We'll be right back in just a moment after a word from our sponsors to put everything together.
When you start with local produce, add some homegrown Carolina pride, and mix it all with a commitment to family, you get more than a locally based grocery store. You get the taste of home. Lowe's Foods. Lowe's Foods, proud sponsor of the Coastal Kitchen and ATM CTV.
As we're getting ready to celebrate Cinco de Mayo, we're finishing up with our ice cream. And I've gotten it out of the freezer, taking it right out of my cling wrap. I'm putting it in my ice cream dish. And this is where it's the way you like it. Now, traditionally, we're going to sprinkle some honey on, just drizzle it over. Then I'm adding chocolate syrup, just a little. I'm going to put some whipped cream, good dollop on top. How about a little bit more? That's good. A cherry, and we're ready to eat. Okay, I'm going to get the rest of these ready in a minute, but I want you to take a look at everything that we've got today. We've got wonderful, fresh, spring-type soup, shredded chicken with avocado, cilantro, fresh tomatoes, guacamole, fresh chips, our margarita, and of course, our dessert. Find us on Facebook. Search for us, The Coastal Kitchen. Good eating, and see you next time on The Coastal Kitchen.